Okay, so this is week 7. Please make sure this right here, this should be, instead of 6, it should say 7. This week, our Savage project is due. You should have the lessons completed in Savage. Your goal this week could probably be to make sure you finish your Savage project and work on your homework. This week, for me, is to make sure students understand slope. Please write down your weekly goal, and then your essential questions are on the top part of the board. You do not have to write the agenda. Today, we are going to do the warm-up. I'm going to write down the EQs first, though. We're going to do that first. I'm going to go over the homework, make sure that you understand how to complete the homework assignment. Yes, it's one on the table. After which, you're going to work on your Savage. If you don't have your laptop, you're going to work on your homework. Today, you need to make sure that you get, if not all of your Savage done, most of it done, because you only have left tomorrow to get it done, and then that's it. Unless you plan on doing it at home before Friday. Questions, comments, or concerns about what we're doing today? All right, let's write in the essential questions, please, and then go over the warm-up. The first essential question is, what is the difference between linear and nonlinear? Essential question 2 is to define. Remember, it's at the top part of the board. We're going to define linear, nonlinear, and slope. Essential question 3 is describe how to find the slope of a line. Essential question 4 is describe how to find the slope given 2 points or table values for a line. We need to know that it still creates those points that they give you, create a line, and those table values also create a line. Raise your hand if you're still writing. Okay, let me know when you're finished. I'm gonna pause. All right, let's look at the homework. Let's look at the homework. Oh, sorry, no. Warm up. I'm skipping steps. I'm sorry. All right, when we're talking about the slope is how steep the line is. The slope is the steepness of a line. It's how steep that line is. There are four kinds of slope. I'll do four different graphs. Either the slope, these are little small, little bitty graphs. Your slope could be a line that increases. It's a straight line that goes up. The slope here could be a positive slope because as x increases, y is increasing. The line goes up. So this is a positive slope. The letter that we use for slope is M. Kate, write this down, baby. The other kind, yes.
There's no word next to slope.
There's no word besides slope. It's just slope.
Right up on top.
Positive.
Like the top where it says the definition.
Slope is the steepness of a line. If your line is going down, what kind of slope do you think that's going to be?
Negative.
Negative slope. That means your value for M is going to be a negative number. And the letter that we use for slope is M. If you have a flat line or a horizontal line, this doesn't have a slope to it because it's flat. There's no steepness to it. So this is no slope or zero slope. Again, the letter for slope is M. This is a horizontal line. I spelled horizontal wrong. Sorry. The horizontal line has zero slope. Vertical line, a line that goes straight up and down, this has undefined slope. It's undefined because you can't walk up this line. There's no way. You can climb it, but you wouldn't be able to walk on this line. Zero would be on the bottom of a fraction. When you count your rise over run, which you'll learn later, the bottom number is going to be a zero. You can't divide zero. You can't say a number 5 divided by 0. You can't do that. Questions, comments, or concerns? There is a formula for calculating slope. Okay, write this down, babe. The formula for slope, remember the letter that represents slope is M, is your y2 minus y1 on the top divided by x2 minus x1. Okay? We're going to use the formula to figure out what the slope is. Remember, we have two ordered pairs. Which are two ordered pairs? You have an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. X-coordinate and a y-coordinate. With the first ordered pair, it's the first point, so you're going to label it as x1, y1. The second ordered pair that is going to be labeled x2, y2. That's where you get your numbers from in the formula. So let's label the 2 points that they give you. Again, the first point you label as x1, y1. This is the first point. This is x1, y1. That's the first point. Your second point you label as x2, y2. That means those little bitty numbers at the bottom are subscripts. That means you have more than one of that variable. In this case, you have more than one x coordinate and more than one y coordinate. The first x coordinate you label as x1. The first y coordinate you label as y1. The second x coordinate you label as x2. The second y coordinate you label as y2. Questions about that? Okay, so now you're going to substitute these numbers into this formula to calculate the slope. You have y2 minus is a part of the formula, y1. So you're going to subtract y2 minus y1. Which one of these numbers is y2? -2. Minus is a part of the formula. Which number is y1? 9. On the bottom, you have the x2 minus x1. Which number is x2? -6. Minus is a part of the formula. Which one is x1? -2. So now we're going to simplify. See what our answer is. Let's look at the top. What's -2 minus 9? What does that give us? Negative 11. This is plus a negative. What does the bottom give us? Nope. Minus a negative is plus a positive. So you're going to subtract them and you get a -4. Somebody said it right. So when I reduce, what's a negative divided by a negative? So this is a positive 11 over 4. Any questions about that? Now let's go over the homework. All right, remember adjacent is side by side. Angles that are side by side are adjacent. Vertical means that they're diagonal from each other. But they're also congruent. Complementary is two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Supplementary is two angles whose sum is 180. Linear pair is two angles that form a straight line. Okay. Now we're going to list what they are. And some problems may have more than one answer, okay? Number one, what are those? They are adjacent. These two angles are side by side. That's it. They don't form a 90-degree angle. The two alone do not form a straight line. That's all they are, is adjacent. Questions? Number two, vertical. That's it. These are vertical angles. They're not side by side. They don't form 90 degrees. They are vertical. That's it. They would be congruent. So whatever one is, so is the other. Number three, what do you think number three is? Nope. Supplementary means they form a straight line. They're adjacent. That's all they are, is adjacent. They don't form 90 degrees. They don't form a straight line 180 degrees. That's all they are, is adjacent, side by side. Number four. Supplementary. These are supplementary. What else could they be?
Linear.
They are a linear pair. What else? Adjacent. Number five. What is number five?
Adjacent.
They are adjacent. That's it. You don't know what the degrees are, so you don't know if they add up to 90 degrees or not. So you can't just assume. They are just adjacent. What is number six?
Supplementary.
They are supplementary. They form a straight line, so we know they're supplementary. What else?
Linear.
They are a linear pair. What else?
Adjacent.
They are side by side. They are adjacent. Questions? Okay, you should be able to finish the rest of those on your own. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns about the homework? Remember down here at the bottom, acute are angles that are less than 90 degrees. This is less than 90. Obtuse is greater than 90, greater than 90, but it's also no more than 180 degrees, okay? We already know what adjacent, we already know what a linear pair is, we already talked about complementary and supplementary. Any questions about anything else? All right, at this time, I need you to work on your Savas. Do not forget that your Savas project is due Friday. If you don't have your laptop, then you need to be working on the homework. Okay?